Hello, clan fans. So, episode 7 of season 5 of Outlander just premiered, and I am a mess. I am honestly a sobbing mess. So, it is the episode that I feared. Unfortunately, things did happen. More than I thought was going to happen in one episode. So, I'm sure if you guys have seen it already, you guys are in the same place as me. Especially if you truly loved the character that we now have to say goodbye to. I'm gonna try not to cry again. I swear, something about episode 7 of every season. I don't know why. It's either episode 6 or 7. That's usually what draws the line for me. So, let's talk about the episode. So, this was the episode where we finally see a fight between the British and the regulators. And we see that they are at Hillsborough in 1771. And they are preparing for battle because the regulators still aren't yielding to the British powers. But at one point, there is a possibility for peace when they send a declaration to Tryon saying that they do have demands, but if the demands are met, then they won't fight. However, Tryon, being the stubborn man that he is, he decides, no, I'm not going to yield to these, as he would consider them, crazy people. So he responds to them by saying that, no, we will not meet your demands, but however, if you stop fighting, we won't attack, but, you know, the demands have to be met, so a battle will happen. So Bree actually realizes that this is a very important battle, so she goes to meet her parents at the battlefield, and she tells them that this is the battle where the Revolutionary War is basically sparked. And this was I'm forgetting the name of the place already. It's a creek. I have so much on my mind right now. Is it Alamance? Is that what it is? Yeah, Alamance. Hey, I remembered. So yeah, she tells them that this is what starts the battle. Jamie wants to warn Murtagh. However, if they do warn the regulators, then if the battle doesn't happen, then the war itself might not happen. Therefore, America won't become America. So, yeah, there's always that fun thing about being a time traveler. However, Jamie still wants to warn Murtagh because it's still important that he take care of his men and his family. So Roger actually, he volunteers to go talk to Murtagh, and so this is the thing with Roger in this episode. At the beginning of the episode, I knew they were setting something up here because he was singing to his son, and obviously the episode is called The Ballad of Roger Mac, so it was going to be about him in some way. So he's singing to Jemmy before he leaves, and he's telling Bree that he hopes that he doesn't die, but if he does, he doesn't know if Jemmy will remember him. He has all these thoughts going through his head. And I'm thinking, yeah, they're setting something up for this episode. Sadly, I was right. So while Roger goes to warn Murtagh, like, that part goes okay. He talks to him, which, interesting thing. Never thought I would see a Roger and Murtagh scene. But we did. We got one more in there. And so he does try to warn him about what could happen if they fight at Alamance. Unfortunately, Murtagh has already riled up his men. So there's no chance of them backing down, especially after they receive the letter from Tryon. Murtagh himself does think it's better to wait, but his men don't want to anymore. So Roger does plead with Murtagh, like, at least save yourself for the sake of your godson, for the love that he bears you. And we don't know what the answer is to that. But while Roger is heading back to his camp, I loathed this scene. My gut was like saying, Roger, just leave before it's too late. And unfortunately, it was too late. What happened was he sees, I think her name is Morag Mackenzie, who he had met on the ship, Bonnet ship, when he was first traveling to America after he time traveled in season 4. And so it's like it's a friendly hello and everything. He's glad to see she's okay. She's actually pregnant again. She's with her husband, who is also a regulator, and she's just helping out at the camp like many of the other families. And he does try to warn her, like, guys, you should get out of there. But she says that they have nowhere to go, and he does actually offer her, like, if you don't have anywhere to go, then you can come to Fraser's Ridge, you'll be welcomed. And then he does something that he really shouldn't have done in the 18th century. He gives her like a little half hug, which, guys, if this isn't a lesson for social distancing right now, it's not, this is not at all that, but what happens is you hear the husband approach and he's got that jealous tone. And unfortunately, the scene that unfolds with that is the husband is not a man of reason. He won't listen to anything that that Roger or Morag is trying to tell him. And he's kind of violent towards his wife. And at one point he's about to strike her, but Roger hits him instead to stop him, which that's admirable. Unfortunately, that does not save him. And he's captured by 2 other men when he tries to flee. Unfortunately, in the scuffle, the little, we'll call it a badge of honor that you're supposed to wear if you're the militia, falls out of his pocket, which is unfortunate, because he did actually kind of need that in case he had trouble coming back to the militia. Because I would have said, just leave it there. But no. I had a feeling that was going to be a problem. Seriously, if you guys watch this episode, there's so many things that are set up that you are just like, oh, that is so going to come back to haunt them later. And it did. So he's in trouble, not just for the wife thing, but for being a part of the militia. So we don't see what happens to him. But there's one more thing that we'll get to at the end. So what happens is that Jamie is preparing to fight. He's getting his men ready. And unfortunately, the Browns are there. Remember the Browns? It's not a sitcom, guys. It's the Unfortunate Browns from episode, I think it was 4. Yeah, 4. Sorry, I'm trying to keep it all in order here. So, unfortunately, if you guys remember Isaiah, he has returned to fight alongside Jamie and his men. And for the Browns, that is not good news for them. And they are forced to keep cool. But however, during the fight, Isaiah is shot, and he's brought to Claire, who has set up a medical tent. And when she's examining him, she does notice that it looks like he was shot from the back, which would be an unusual position if they were chasing the regulators forward. So she comes to the conclusion that Lionel must have shot him. Lionel, who is there also dealing with injuries, is getting snarky about it, and rudely, might I add, takes her syringe, knocks it out of her hand, and on the ground he stomps on it, which was her only syringe that she could use to supply the penicillin. I honestly don't know what happened to Isaiah after that. I assume he had already been treated, but I'm not sure. However, she can't continue to treat men with penicillin thanks to Lionel Brown. Remember that name, guys? I don't know if this happened in the books, but I had a feeling they were going to cause trouble at some point, and I heard also that there was a little more to their scuffle. Now I see. Now I see. I hope we don't have to deal with them again, because I don't like them. I do at least want to know that Isaiah's okay, though. If any of you guys know if he makes it in the books, please let me know, just so I have a peace of mind. I cannot have more death on my mind from this episode. Okay, so anyway, that's the trouble with the Browns. There's your sitcom name for you. So yeah, Jamie and his men are fighting, and he did a lot to prepare for the battle. He taught his men well. He also at one point is at the creek and he's getting ready. He's like washing up and praying, not to God, but interestingly to Dougal Mackenzie, who was his uncle that he murdered back in season 2. And he's praying to him for the strength and courage that his uncle had, because he himself was a war chieftain. So, unfortunately, he prayed to the wrong guy, because it does not go well for Jamie. So while he's fighting, what happens is that one of the regulators goes after Jamie, mostly because he's wearing a red coat that Tryon made him try on. I know, I hate myself for that one. But yeah, he's wearing the red coat, so the guy thinks that he's fully committed to the militia now. However, the guy is stopped by the one and only Murtagh Fitzgibbons, Fraser, and he knocks him out, and it's a nice moment where Jamie sees Murtagh, Murtagh sees Jamie, and they're about to have either they were going to have a conversation or Murtagh was going to head the other way, but unfortunately, one of Jamie's men, the scene is it's going to be so hard to talk about, guys. What happens is that one of Jamie's men shows up, and because Murtagh is a regulator, he immediately shoots him, which just to see that and to hear that, it made me gasp. I was surprised that it happened, and the fact that it was one of Jamie's men. And I mean, I'm still relieved that Jamie himself didn't have to do it, but Jamie probably feels just as guilty that one of his men did it. Not unknowingly. He didn't know it was his godfather, but still. So what happens is that Murtagh falls into Jamie's arms, and as Murtagh lays dying, Jamie tells him, like, I released you from your oath, you didn't have to keep protecting me, but Murtagh assures him, like, I would never betray your mother, and he tells him that it does not hurt to die, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna start crying again. So, yeah, he closes his eyes, and you keep hoping that maybe there's a chance that they're gonna save him, because Jamie has his men help him take Murtagh to Claire's tent, and unfortunately by the time he gets him there, Claire assures him that he's dead. And when Claire says that, it means there's no hope that they're going to be alive. So, I cried so much at that. Just because I knew it was coming, but I didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to be in the middle of the season. I thought we at least had till the end of the season, but maybe we'll see him in flashbacks again. I don't know. But, oh my god, that scene was so hard to watch. And poor Jamie, he's just so in shock from everything, and he goes outside, and Governor Tryon is his happy self because they, of course, were victorious, like Bree had said they were going to be. And Jamie is mad. He takes the red coat off, and he's really, like, straightforward with Tryon. Like, did you just do this for the British crown, or did you do it for your own pride? And Tryon decides to overlook what he said, because he did fulfill his debt for the land. So Jamie figures, yeah, I have fulfilled my debt, so I don't have to do any more for you. So I am honestly proud of Jamie for telling Tryon off, and I am glad to know that he will be departing from the British Army. How that's going to happen, I don't know, but I loved that moment, just him telling them off. Tryon deserved it. But, my God, like, just watching Murtagh die, so difficult. It's like, it doesn't matter how much you prepare yourself for it, it's still gonna hurt. You're still gonna cry, because you're human, you know? You feel the pain no matter what. And I still was not expecting how it was going to happen, when it was going to happen, so that also hit me. And it really was like Jamie, how he was feeling like this can't be happening right now. And you kept hoping, like, no, he's not going to die, he's not dead. But then you had to accept it. And yeah, it was just really difficult. And then Jamie sees that Bree is still worried because Roger hasn't returned yet. And this is where we get to the other sad thing, which hopefully is a red herring of sorts. So they go to look for him. Maybe he's a prisoner with the regulators, or he was captured somehow. And they go to find him hanging on a tree. Now, we don't know for sure if this is actually Roger, because the heads are covered with sacks, but it's so hard to know because he is wearing the clothes, at least the jacket. So Bree, Claire, and Jamie all see him hanging there, and then they start to take the body down, but that's basically where the episode ends. We don't get confirmation. So here's the thing. Whenever they don't show the body, like the full face, I always say that there is a good chance that that is not what it seems. So Roger is supposed to continue throughout the books. I don't think they will kill him on the show because he is a very big character, plays a major role throughout the whole series. So I'm less concerned about Roger, just, yes, to see it like that, no, it's not good. However, I wonder if the husband that attacked him earlier maybe stole his coat, and maybe he was the one hanging there. So there's a possibility that Roger is still a captive of the regulators. That's possible. And unfortunately, now he doesn't have Murtagh to be the voice of reason to the regulators. That's a possibility. The other possibility is that, yes, that was Roger hanging there. It looked like the hand was like holding the neck, which there is a chance he could still be alive if that's the case. Because normally you can't you need muscle and strength for that. There's a possibility that the hand is under the rope to prevent further damage, but I don't know how that works exactly. I'm not going to be an expert on that. But there are two possibilities there. Roger is not dead. The promo is trying to mislead us into thinking that he is by Bree saying, "I want my husband back." But there's a chance that he could just be in a coma. That's possible. But I don't know. I don't know what the show's going to do, especially because they do try to do things a little differently just to throw us off, which, that's a good adaptation, honestly. Not exactly everything that's written in the story, but to add to the story and make it new and unexpected. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens to Roger Mack. There is a chance he won't be able to sing again, which I get the feeling that's why they've been having him sing the whole first part of season 5. That's possible. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm not going to try to spoil it for myself. I'm just going to wait for 2 weeks for the next episode, because yes, you heard that right. We have to wait 2 weeks till episode 8. When I saw that, like, first my heart was broken, and then I had concern for Roger, and now I have to wait 2 weeks, is what my thought was. It's like, guys, we're in quarantine right now. Can't you, like, forget the 2-week period, please? I don't know if Starz was planning to do this originally, but I hope they were, because that's just cruel if they decided to do that in the middle of everything that's going on. I mean, I'm sure they did, but... Okay, so, yes, it was a very heartbreaking episode. We knew heartbreak was coming. We just didn't know how. But I am going to be so sad about Murtagh's death for a long time. And I have to say, even though he was supposed to die in the books, and technically in book 2, when the war starts, at the Battle of Culloden, he was technically supposed to die at that point. But they kept him alive through season 3, 4, and 5, halfway through 5. But I am so, even though this hurts, I am so glad that the show writers kept him this whole time, because we got to see him interact with Bree and Roger. He got to meet Jemmy. He got to be in love with Jocasta. Even if their love was doomed, just to have those moments for Murtagh to give him something more than what he had in the books. That is beautiful. Same goes for people. Oh, sorry. I gotta stop trying to make myself cry. But just to see the character live on longer than we thought he was going to, I am so grateful for that. So thank you to the showrunners, to the writers, to Diana, to the actors, especially Duncan. He did this role justice. It was amazing, and to see him get to know that Claire and Bree were okay, to know the truth about the future, it added so much to the show, and I am so glad we got to see that. Sorry, I'm trying not to cry. Yeah, it's hard. I hope you guys enjoyed episode 7 as much as we could possibly enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoyed Murtagh getting to stay on as long as he did. And hopefully we'll see him in flashbacks. It's possible. And yeah, tell me what you guys thought of the episode, how you guys felt about everything that unfolded. And we'll see what happens in episode 8 in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I would understand if next weekend was Easter, but I will inform you that it is not. That would have made sense to me, but however they decide, I don't know. Alright guys, before I burst into tears again, I will see you in 2 weeks for episode 8. I hope everything is going well with you guys. I know the quarantine keeps getting extended, but hey, we're gonna get through it. We're gonna get through Murtagh's death. We're gonna get through it all. And I hope everything's okay with all of you. Alright guys, See you soon. Hang in there. No, I'm not going to say that. Don't hang in there. Just breathe. And I will see you soon. Bye, guys.